All right. We are here. We are late, but we are here. How
Yes.
are you, Clementine?
A little bit tired. Today was a little bit hard. I think the problem is I was like, yeah, I don't need coffee, and then I had my morning class, and then after that, of course, with the 2 hours, I just like I had a big drop in the productivity. But I did have a lot of things to do, so I had some letters of recommendations to write and all those things. So I still had to work, and I think the weather also didn't help, of course, because like up where we are in Maryland, it's been really rainy in the past few days.
Yeah.
And today especially this morning, this afternoon, it was like there was at least like a period of time where it stopped raining, but like this morning was really calming down, right?
Yeah. I I have a cold, as you can tell. I have
Yes,
a cold. Um, it's a
sorry.
pretty mild cold. I honestly think it might even just be like seasonal allergies.
Mm.
Um, but it's annoying for sure. And the dry air is like not helping me. So I've been trying to run a humidifier and like do other
Mm.
things, but I'm not feeling awesome. I Yesterday we had like a big school event where we took a couple of families yesterday after school to see Stacey Abrams speak about her new book, which was really exciting. But then I felt worn out all day because I didn't get home last night until like, you know,
I see.
7:30, 8 o'clock, when normally I get home at like 3 or 4.
Mm.
So yesterday was a long day, and then today my library was being used for a meeting, so I couldn't be in my library all day. I had to like push in
Okay.
the classrooms instead, and that was a challenge. So it's just been a challenging few days, but we are here and we are going to read, and it is going to be awesome.
Yes. I think the weather also doesn't help to know if it's really a cold or allergies, because it could really be both. Because like also with the rain, the weather was really kind of colder, right? Like really
Yeah.
fallish for Maryland. And today with the rain, suddenly it's been like really humid and kind of really moist and like heavy. Um
Yeah.
it's been really weird, so like it doesn't help. I know my allergies I are all up, like really badly these days too. So I really hope that it passes soon for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I've kind of been on the edge of getting sick for a little while. um, and like just kind of like not feeling my best. I also think it's just like the beginning of the school year. I'm not sleeping as much as
Yeah.
I should. I'm not like drinking as much water as I should. You know, like there are a lot of things that come with the start of the school year.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll be okay. We'll survive.
Well, and I mean also with the weather coming down a little bit, and the school year being there and the students being there, you
Oh,
catch
all
it.
the germs. There are so many germs. I went to Bath and Body Works and got just like 7 of their little mini hand sanitizers, and I've just been putting them everywhere. I'm like, anytime I see them, I just use. But still, I get sick. Still, and it's because I see 500 kids every week, and
Yeah.
it's because I am processing their materials, right? I'm processing their books. So I touch things that every single child in the school has touched. So even if I use hand sanitizer, even
Yeah,
if
it
I do
doesn't
everything
help.
as
It
fast as
doesn't
I
help.
can, there's just no way to not get sick. I do need to reach out to Michelle and see if we're still good for
Mm.
like D&D
Yes.
and stuff, or if we should perhaps postpone. Um, yeah, yeah, we'll see.
For
Anyway,
others, I mean,
sorry.
for others who see us later, in the with the and don't know about it, we do live close by in the same city, and we do have some in person, D&D groups that we play with. So, and one of our friends, Michelle, is I mean, she is more fragile, so we want to pay attention to everything to not introduce germs to her so that
Right.
she doesn't get sick. Because like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So for this first sprint, I'm not going to read a mystery book. I'm just going to continue the book
That's
I'm already reading, and I'm actually going to disappear for a moment and go
Oh,
make myself dinner because I actually haven't eaten. So I'm going to go make some quick ramen.
of course.
Um, But
So what
the
are you gonna read?
yeah, great question. So I am in the middle of. I love Lindsay Sands for her
Mhm.
poppy, just like fluffy
So
romance novels.
is it so I think I kind of because I don't think she's the one because there's one author that's puts some mystery in her romance
No,
novels.
it's Lindsay Sands.
It is
It's so
Lily Sim.
obvious
Okay.
every time who the
Okay.
culprit is. But what it does mean is that the third act, like breakup, which is stereotypical to romance novels, isn't usually a third act breakup.
Hmm.
Usually her third act breakup is actually just like someone tries to kill them and they like get really close and then they
Hmm.
get thwarted, right?
Well,
So we
I
can
mean,
have like it's an external conflict rather than an
yes.
internal
No,
conflict,
no.
which
Yeah.
I love. I love it. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. And like the usually also now I think a lot of people for romance because like there's a lot more romance novels that don't have a breakup for the third act. So they just call it like a third act scene or a third act, like I don't know,
Yeah,
drama or something like this.
conflict, perhaps. Yeah, yeah. I agree. I like books that don't have a third act
Yes.
breakup. I think that I really need to start as I'm reading, like making lists of them, and
Yeah.
potentially sharing which ones don't because I love them. But yeah. So she writes kind of in two veins. One vein is like romance or vampire romance novels. She has like a 30 book long series. The early ones are rough. So I would not necessarily suggest reading the early ones, but the later ones are great. And then she also has like not random, my brain's just going. She does historical romance novels
Hmm.
that are set around a family in Scotland. So they're like Highlander romances. So
Yeah.
I am reading the most recent one. My library hold just came through, The Highlanders Return, and it is exactly what it sells itself as. It's just like silliness,
Hmm.
like a man being stupid, a woman being smart, them trying to get along with their lives. It's great. I
That's
love
one thing that I was like that some people define Lizzie Sands as
it.
that
All of
there's
the men are
mystery in the historical romance and that the characters are kind of stupid, but stupid in a very funny way.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I find them hilarious. I think it's
and I can say that yeah, it's true, and I had fun when I did read that. So
yeah.
uh, I don't read like too many in a row because I know that even if I do like it, I will like get easily bored with it. But I do enjoy it when I do. Historical romances are usually fun because even like I don't think I'm as mad with like some miscommunication with it because of the times it's set in. And as long as the breakup does not rely on like anything like that, it's fine.
Hi Scorpio.
Hey, Scorpio!
Back. So Scorpio is reading 1984
Ooh.
for Banned Books Week. A great choice.
That's a
Um,
That's
Scorpio.
a difficult read, though. It's a little bit depressing. That's what I remember it as, but I also remember it as one of my all-time like favorite classics. So I, take that, as you. So,
I muted myself because I was coughing. I was like, oh no, this is not good. But
you're
go ahead,
good.
Clementine, what are you reading?
Yes, so I'm gonna be reading Curse of Sins. So I know it doesn't look like the cover that's you were that's because this is the Fairloot edition, so it's an exclusive edition. Curse of Sins is the sequel to the Curse of Saints. So it is a I would say more new adult fantasy romance. I would say fantasy with some romance because like the romance is not complete. I mean, it's not super heavy, right?
Mm,
So the premise is how to explain it a little bit because you follow two soldiers to this queen in this kingdom who have affinities. So affinities are like different types of magic, essentially. So it's a little bit like magic. The magic is a little bit wind or fire, the elements kind of thing. And then you have some that affect also the mind a little bit. Um, But so they are guards, soldiers to the queen, and so they enforce her rule, and it things start up becoming really weird when the main character Aya displays some powers that are really strange, and so she's tasked to go with the guy that she hates the most, the guard that she hates the most, that's always been very bad to her for no reason. She doesn't really know also why he doesn't like her. And so they're tasked to go to a neighboring kingdom who has this temple to learn more about her powers and what's happening to her a little bit. But there's a lot of things that she doesn't want to say because she feels really bad about what happened to her before. There's something also, some memories that she might be repressing. I don't want to say more than that because there's a lot in, hinging on that. And of course, with the second book, a lot of things happen with the first book, so it's clear it's completely different to what it was. I would say that the first book was kind of fast paced and it felt a little bit young adult, I would say, even in some ways. But this book seems a lot more adult, this sequel, because there's a lot more court politics now because we're back with the queen and, all the soldiers, all that. There's also the politic also with the religious order right now. So it's really interesting for that. The only problem is that I don't remember that much. There's some
Oh
things that I
no.
don't remember, like the names of the different people and stuff is a little bit fuzzy sometimes. So far, it's not been too bad for me. Uh, it's okay. I still have kind of fun with things, but I do think that it's gonna be like I'm still gonna finish because it's supposed to be a trilogy. The second book came out, I think, a few months ago, right? Um, and the last book is supposed to come out next year. So I do think I'm still gonna finish it. Also, I'm reading it with a friend online, Maria, and it's been a lot of fun doing that. So I do have fun also doing some theory time and all that. So I think I will finish, but I don't know if it's going to be something that's going to stay for a long time because I seem to forget it really easily. So we'll see.
Sometimes those books are still good and still fun. And Scorpio, I'm reading kind of a silly historical romance called The Highlander's Return by Lindsay Sands. It's going to be great. I'm going to open one of the mystery books after the first sprint. So exciting stuff. And just to make a quick comment on this, yeah, Scorpio, they'll ban a lot of things. It's kind of wild. We're kind of in the banning things era right now where just a lot of things are getting hit. It's the like high political tensions.
Mhm.
um, it's really awful. I haven't seen it personally in my own school library. I'm very lucky to have like supportive parents and be in a supportive district, and like be in a place where even if some challenges did come through, I would be very supported in um, kind of justifying students' access to reading material. But it's a big deal. And if you're looking for an interesting book about it, there's a really great middle grade book that I need everyone to read more because it's so good. It's called Answers in the Pages. I'm gonna put the title in the chat. It's by David Levithan. And if you've got an open afternoon and a library card, I highly recommend it. It's pretty short, easy to get through, but it's about a middle school student who it's fictional. It's about a middle school student who gets assigned a book by his teacher, and his teacher is gay, and he's reading the book and he leaves his book like on the dining room table, and his mom picks it up and reads the last page, and notices that the two male characters in the book like walk off into the distance holding hands. So it's not even like graphic or anything. It's not even clear that there's a romantic relationship between the two. It's just like kind of vaguely hinted at. And she decides to try to get the book banned from his school. And so it's about like what this child is dealing with, and then
Mm.
what the family is seeing, and also like what's happening on a community level. It's really strong. It's a really great book. And yeah, it would be a great one to read during banned books week. I am sure that someone has banned this book that is about banning books. I'm
Oh,
positive.
I'm sure they did. I mean, they did like ban a picture book about penguins, right?
Oh, it's several picture books about penguins. More
Yeah,
than
I
just one.
know.
They were
Just
all
because it's
fun.
a penguin of the
Cute, cute
same
penguins.
gender who are together.
And yeah. And Tango Makes Three is a very cute book. It's
Mhm.
absolutely adorable. And yeah, that yeah, it's tough. There's this really cute one called Prince and Knight instead of like knight and like instead of
Yeah.
like princess, right? It's Prince and
Uh-huh.
Knight. And it's really cute and my kids love it. And it is banned all over the place. Yes, Scorpio.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Feel the anger. Feel the anger with us. So there were these two male penguins in the I think it was the Washington D.C. Zoo. This is a true story. They banned a book that is a true story. Um, that they were like, they were a family. They were a little partnership, and they love each other, right?
Mhm.
And so the zoo had an egg, and the zoo gave them an egg, and the penguins raised the egg together, and then like a little penguin hatched, and they named the penguin Tango. So the book is called And Tango Makes Three, and it's a true story about a little tiny family of penguins, and it's so cute.
I
And
know.
it gets banned all the time. It gets banned all the time because it's about gay penguins. How dare we recognize something that's real? It's really sad,
Yeah.
but it's also a cute book. It's a great way to find good books, I guess.
How dare we show to kids that, some other animals don't have, our heterosexuality standards, How dare we show that?
There
Because,
is there's a really great, this is an adult book, not a book for children necessarily, though I think some of the stories could be read to children. I think it's called Queer Ducks. I could be wrong. It's like an anthology of stories about like animals who exhibit
mm,
homosexual
mhm,
behavior in the wild, because
yeah,
there's this argument, right, that socially conservative people make, and really just homophobic people make, that like, oh, like we shouldn't support this because it's not, quote, natural, right? This wouldn't
yeah.
happen in the natural order of things. And it's just not true. It's a straw man argument. So um yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say that it's
Anyway, I'm that happy. Sorry, go ahead, Clementine.
no, you're okay. I would just say that I think it's actually less than the norm that, animals are actually heterosexual. I think it's more normal than there is some homosexuality in.
I don't know enough about the topic to be able to
I
say
think
for
I heard
sure,
something
but
about this, but I'm not too sure. But I would say that, what do we care about all of this in any way,
yeah,
shape,
I
or
think
form,
the
right?
big thing is that like animals don't have the social stigma and like the
No.
hangups that we do, right? Like they're just doing their thing, man. And maybe we should all just do our thing and then not have it be a problem.
Yeah, maybe we should be more like animals in that sense, and not care about that because, like, what do we? Anyway,
Alrighty, Clementine, how long do you want our first sprint to be?
I don't have anything to do, but I know that you wanted to get dinner also ready while you read, so let me know just how long you would like it to be.
Sure. Why don't we do 45 minutes? Unless, is
Okay.
there like a longer time that you would like, or is that okay with you?
45 minutes is fine. I'm
Okay,
gonna
perfect.
I'm gonna probably read via audiobook because I do have the audiobook and just crochet, so I'm good.
Nice. Yes, when we come back together. Scorpio and I are on the same wavelength. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna do 45 minutes. We will be back at the end of that time. Oh, I need to share my screen. Okay, there we go. And I will see you guys soon.
Yes. Hello, hello.
Hello. How did we do?
I read 40 pages, so pretty good. Pretty good. I do have to say that as far as, even if I don't remember everything, one, it's written really well, so, and giving us like a little bit of a recap for the first book. Like, for example, I just actually bounced around to two chapters where we actually go back to another part of the world within the other perspectives, and I truly forgot like half of the names and like what happened. But the way they actually brought back the perspectives, it was with an event that actually helped us have some recap with that. So it was
Mhm.
really nice. And the writing is really easy. I mean, it's really engaging. So I gotta say that to that. So that's, I'm making progress. So how was
Nice.
your time? Dinner? Good?
Dinner happened, which was great. I had some avocado toast and some noodles. So I now have sustenance in me. Woohoo! As far as my book goes, I am almost at the end. And if you're watching, please let us know in the chat how much progress you made. Oh, I felt like I was almost at the end because the story feels like it's wrapping up. But I'm only 77% of the way through, which is hilarious. It really feels like we just had our third act thing. I was like, wow, the last 40% of this book has gone really fast. But I made it about 17%
Mm,
of the way through. I started at about 60%, which
I
is
see.
great. Um, in in Angela crafting news, um, something really weird has happened
Oh.
on my project. I picked up my knitting and I like triple checked,
Mm-hmm.
but I something feels wrong to me about I don't know. I don't know. I think
Is there something wrong with
when I
you?
okay, so I think what happened was I picked up my knitting and
Yes.
I think that I knitted the wrong way.
Oh.
It also
I don't know
no,
enough.
it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. I I'm really struggling right now with
Mhm.
this last row. Like I just don't know what's happened. And it's really frustrating because this I don't even think I could put a lifeline in this and rip back. So I think that if I decide to unpick this row, I'm gonna have to do it manually, which is gonna be really annoying. I something weird has happened. Um,
Uh-huh.
yeah, something really strange has happened. I don't know what's going on. I am confused. I also don't know if it looks funny just because of like how I'm looking at it or if it's just like actually strange, you know? I part of me thinks it's just like if I don't know what to do. Part of me thinks I should insert a lifeline now. So like insert a piece of string into my knitting now and then knit a few more rows and try to see if it actually looks weird. And then if it's actually wrong, then I can rip back pretty easily. I think that that's the objectively correct decision. I just there's no way I knit in the wrong direction because I ended up on the correct side.
I don't know enough about knitting to help you.
Oh,
I'm referring to Scorpio's comments. I could never get the hang of knitting. Crocheting is so much easier. I agree.
I agree. Crocheting is easier. I will say on the other side of my knitting, I think the stitch patterns look the same as the side that I'm like questioning. So I think
Maybe you can ask Michelle. She arrived in the chat. Hi,
Michelle,
Michelle. She says she
hi.
prefers knitting, so
Michelle, I don't know what to do. Michelle, I think the correct decision is to put in a lifeline, right? Put in a lifeline, knit a few more rows, and then if I decide to rip back, um, I'll be fine. I think that's correct.
sorry that I can't help.
No, that's okay.
I
Something
don't
in
know if Michelle knows what. She said she agrees.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. Yeah, something is weird. I don't know what happened.
Otherwise, Scorpio made some good progress during the sprint. I can't display that,
Woo!
but she read 35 pages. Really nice. And hopefully she can finish the book tonight. Wow, nice. If they can finish
That
their
would be
book
awesome.
tonight, that's awesome. Uh,
Oh, I do think I figured out what happened. And it is weird. Okay, so friends, for those of us who don't know anything about knitting, and if you don't care about knitting, just stick around for 30 seconds. I promise we'll be done soon. So I have two strings coming from this project. They're
uh-huh.
hard to see because they're tiny, but there are two. Okay. The reason I'm doing this is because it's hand dyed yarn. And so I've been knitting um, back and forth with one string and then back and forth with the other, back and forth with one, back and forth with the other. And what that does is it keeps it from when I switch balls of yarn, there being a big like block.
Uh,
Okay. What
uh-huh.
has happened is I was stupid and I started this last row when I was working at school. And I picked up the wrong ball of yarn on the wrong side of my work and knit across incorrectly. So that is why my work looks funny. So I could spend a long time knitting back,
Uh-huh.
or I could just proceed and just kind of not worry about the one row that's going to look a little bit funny. And I think the correct decision might be what I already said, which is to put in a lifeline, knit a few more rows, decide if I can deal with it. And if I can't deal with it, go back to the lifeline and then take back my row. Anyway, if you don't understand knitting, that's the rest of my spiel. I promise I'm done. I'm really frustrated that this has happened. Um,
Anyway, I understand the frustration because when that happens to me with crochet, the only thing to do is usually to just uncrochet up until the point
the
that
thing
you have.
with crochet though is that you can just pull it, and then as long as you get
Yeah.
your one loop back on, it's easy. With knitting, I've got like 300 live stitches, so that means I'm gonna have to go back with my needles one by one, tink, 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 tink,
Yes.
300
No,
times.
I that's why I like crochet because you're like, no, and you unravel. It's really nice when you unwrap a project with crochet. It's very soothing actually. The
I believe you. I think I'm gonna end up unpicking. I think that's the correct. I think the
I think
correct.
if you figured out your mistake, the correct thing would be to yes, remove it and then do it over again.
Because otherwise, I'm gonna regret it. I'm just every time I'm gonna look at the sweater, I'm gonna see it. So, it's just
Nobody else will see it but you.
yes, yes, definitely true. All right, and we do have some new people watching, so let us know what you're reading, y'all. We would love to hear about it. Um, and I can pick a book now.
Yes, you can.
So exciting stuff. We'll start my book as I'm meticulously picking back my knitting.
Just for context, I am getting a little bit antsy because I think the picks are not really great now. So I'm getting really scared of what you'll think of these books, but also like
Oh,
if you don't like them, you just DNF them and then you just, you have one more
yeah, so that was the
on your
whole
TBR.
point. So, for those of you who haven't joined us in the last couple of weeks, this is a stack of books that Clementine picked from my shelf. Now, I will say she picked them from my shelf. This means that I made the decision to purchase them. I bought them with my own money, most of them, and they have been sitting on my shelf, some for several years,
Yes.
and I have not. I have not read them yet.
Mhm.
So I am working on reading them, and I've read three. So I've tried three so far. Two of them I would say were successes. I read them. The first one I loved. The second one I thought was fine, and the last one I DNF'd. So this time we've got four left. Four out of seven left. I'm not going to drop them, and I have them in order of size right now. So like
Mm.
1, 2, 3, 4. One is smallest, 2, 3, 4. Oh no. So I think we have accidentally gotten a pick, like I don't have a choice pick because this one, I don't know if you can see. I think when I accidentally dropped them, it started to rip just a little bit. So I think the only decision is to do the top one, since pretty soon it won't be a mystery if I move it the wrong way. And this is the one I've been afraid of, because I'm like fairly certain it's the Lies of Locke Lamora, and if it is, then I've already I've already tried it twice. So this will be the third time and you're out, right? Like if it doesn't work, then okay. And I'll let you guys see it first. Yeah, there it is. As soon as I picked this one up, I was like, I know the book that is this size. It is The Lies of Locke Lamora.
I know that you had this before, but you kept it on your shelves to try it again. So I think
I did.
I think you should just try it, and if it really doesn't work, just unhaul it, right?
Let it go. Let it go into the. No, I completely agree with you. I think I just really want to like it. I do, like, it seems pretty like plotty, and it seems like something that I might like. But yeah, so this is exciting, I suppose.
It is.
Michelle
we have Shonda who's saying hi to us. There's also Shonda. Hi.
Hi, Shonda. Michelle is reading Sisterhood, Dark Tales, and Secret Histories by various authors. Michelle has been absolutely killing the short story collection game. She has been reading a ton of short stories recently, which is awesome. Good for you. And Shonda is reading Beach Read, which is a middling Emily Henry for me. I hope that you love it. I thought it was good. It was my first Emily Henry. I think Book Lovers is my favorite. But Clementine, have you read Emily Henry?
I am very scared to try because I know that I would say I'm 50% certain that I would not like it, but I'm like 50-50. I really don't know.
It's one of those serious talk with her books, and I think you like silly romances, right? More so than
I do. I do.
Yeah. Yep. Ooh. Oh, Scorpio, are you talking about Six of Crows? That's a great question.
No, I think she's talking about Lies of Locke Lamora, right?
Oh, yes, that would make sense. So, I just kept putting it down, like just not returning to it. It wasn't even anything that the book was doing that was wrong. There are quite a few characters, so like getting a grasp on all of them. It also starts. I thought it started kind of slow. So, the basic premise, I realized I didn't really describe it. The basic premise of The Lies of Locke Lamora is you've got this kid, Locke Lamora, who is like a really clever trickster, kind of from the jump, and he gets given up by his family. He's like a street urchin, and I think he's given to like a priesthood or something, and then they very quickly are like, sorry, you don't belong here, and they give him like to the thieves guild. There's like a head thief that has a bunch of children that work for him, and so he's working there, and he's really great, but like he'll do things that aren't like quite kosher, right? Like he'll make decisions that negatively impact the rest of his team, just to like make a mark, or these sorts of things. So he's also just like too smart for his own good. So my understanding is that last time I read it, I did get to the part where he so it follows him as he grows up. Not like as he grows up, it shifts. There's like a time jump. And then we follow adult Locke Lamora as he's planning like a bigger heist. And he's bringing a team together to do this heist. So it's heist novel number 2 for the pile.
I think the way, because I didn't know that it was actually starting when he was younger, but I think the way I was pitched the story is that it is an adult fantasy novel, but we do follow people who don't have magic. So we follow a world where there's magic, but they don't have the magic.
I don't remember much of the magic even playing a part in that early part of the story.
No, I think it's more. I think it's more prominent in the sequels, if I remember. But it would make sense if like the world is a little bit more expanded, that see a little bit more of the magic playing a role. But yeah, I think.
And I will say, Scorpio, it was not necessarily a quality issue. I really do think it was like and the reason why I didn't unhaul it, because I'm usually pretty good at saying, you know what, I tried it, I don't want it anymore, get it out. Um, I, it was, yeah, just like a preference thing. I think that what I need to do is kind of scoot back a couple chapters to when he starts as an adult. I need to get it on Libby, find where I was, and then scoot back. Michelle, do you mean that there are books without magic?
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a romance actually. I'm
No,
not
I
even
think
sure
there's like a
there is
pretty
a
prominent
romance.
romance in this book. Like there's a male friendship that I know a lot of people
Yeah.
really love in
I
this novel.
think there is a romance later on in the series, but not in the first book.
That wouldn't be surprising to me. I feel like most series have romantic subplots that pop up eventually. Yeah. Alrighty, so I guess we should give it a shot. I'm gonna try to find the audiobook. If I can't, I'm just gonna keep going on the book I was reading. But I'm gonna try to find the audiobook and take back my knitting, sadly. And Clementine, Curse of Sins, Michelle, Shonda, Scorpio, we can do this. I believe in us. All right. Does anyone have a timing preference for how long we would like this next sprint to go? The last one was 45 minutes. You guys can let us know if that felt long or short, what your preference is. Clementine, do you have a preference for this sprint?
No, as usual, I don't. Also, I'm pretty tired, so I'm fine with like 30 to 45 minutes, whichever, you guys want. I
Sure.
usually want at least 30 minutes because otherwise it's just a little bit too
Hard to get
short for me
into.
and I get into it. But also right now I'm reading via audio, so it's not as, it's not as problematic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Let's go with 30 minutes then, since we just did a 45. This will also mean that I won't have quite enough time to get super mad at my knitting. I'll only have enough time to get slightly annoyed at my knitting, which is ideal in this situation. Oh no, I pressed the wrong. There we go. I was like, wow, my face just got big. What happened? All right, we're going to do 30 minutes. We'll see you guys at the end.
Welcome back.
Hello, hello, all. Everyone, update us in the chat. How is it going? How did it go for you, Clementine?
Good. I upped my audiobook to 2.5 speed.
Nice.
And I read the 35 pages, so pretty good. But also, like, those pages are like, it's written pretty big, right? The font's pretty big. But...
Nice. Good progress.
So,
I'm
what did
about
you read?
2/3 of the way knitted back.
Oh, okay.
So I'll definitely be able um, to finish this during the next sprint and then start actually knitting in the right direction, which will be great. I made about 9% progress on the Highlander's Return. I reserved. Oh no. I reserved the Lies of Locke Lamora for next time. I'm not willing to purchase it because I've already DNF'd it twice. It doesn't make sense
Yeah,
for me to buy it.
no.
And the audiobook has a 5-week wait on Libby. So, which makes sense. It's a popular book. So, yeah.
Would you like to open another book instead then?
Ooh, that's a good idea. I could open another book and see whether that would be more accessible. That is true. I like that idea for sure. I am not opposed. And I feel like I've gotten a second win since I ate food last time. So I feel like I could definitely get a few more sprints in tonight. Michelle says that she read a story and a nice poem about cannibalism. So how nice. That's a very Michelle sentence.
Yes.
Totally checks out. Ooh. All right. If I were to pick another book, Clementine, I feel like we've had Atlas pick, we've had the chat pick, we've had Fate pick. I feel like you should pick this time. Top, middle, or bottom? Do you have an opinion?
Oof. Oh my gosh. That's hard. You let me pick is hard because I remember one book out of the three of them. So
Do you want me to mix them up out of sight and then have you give me another
no.
one?
I know it's one of the bigger books, so I remember
Okay,
that one, but the other ones I don't.
perfect. Also, I just noticed that Atlas is like perfectly in frame.
I know. We can see.
Just chilling,
Mhm.
just being a sleepy
Little
boy.
puppy. Let's go with the middle one.
The middle one. See, rolling the dice.
I don't know which one's which because it's not also, I can't
It's not entirely obvious.
Yeah.
If I had to guess on this one,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's definitely one of the big ones. So it could be you were trying not to start series, but it could be Malice, it could be Rage of Dragons, it could be the Joe Abercrombie one. Okay, so now feeling it feels like the Joe Abercrombie book. It's got that texture. It is. Yep. Alrighty.
If it is, I don't think it's gonna help. I don't think you can easily get it without weight.
I also don't think I'm going to be able to easily get this one, and I definitely don't want to open a third one today. He is so cute, Michelle. I agree. Let's get the cannibalism comment off the screen and put the Atlas comment on the screen. I was trying out these. So I have this little toy that I can put things in for him to lick, and it helps relieve some of his anxiety. And I got these calming ones. And before I give it to him when I'm not here, I wanted to try giving it to him when I am here. And I did, and we are calm. We are very calm. He is now doing that because he's the cutest. So Yeah, he's the best. Life is grand. Very cuddly. Okay, I will do my best. I will do my best to get it. I do have like 4 different libraries on Libby, so there is a possibility that I'll be able to find it. It's just not a guarantee.
Yeah, with my libraries, it's a 5 week wait, and I think being the beginning of a series that's a beginning of a bigger world, it usually makes it like more requested.
I agree. That's a
Um,
good that's a good point. That it's not just that it's popular, it's also that it's the
but
beginning.
hey, you can request that one, and whenever you get the first one, whenever we're on sprints, then you can try
Yeah,
it.
my closest one is a 2 week wait. Um which actually isn't that bad.
No, it's not.
So, and I'll also look on Hoopla, see if I can get it on Hoopla. I kind of doubt that one. Um, but yes, Blade itself. Let's see. Okay, they've got the ebook, but not the audiobook on Hoopla, unfortunately. Sad, sad.
So, wait, I think. So, do you have Everend?
I used to, but I stopped paying for it because it kept it would just like tell me that I needed to wait for books after like reading 2 of them. It felt
Mm.
like it wasn't worth it anymore. But if both lies, could you check to see if both Lies of Locke Lamora and The Blade itself are on Everand? Because if both,
If it's not, the blade itself is not on Everend.
okay,
And I don't think the Lies of Locke Lamora are
I don't think it is
either.
either. I think I checked it when I wanted to
Yeah,
read it.
no, it's not. That's not what I think. But mm,
I've never really looked at this cover before. I do. I like our little portrait of the guy over here.
mhm. It's very okay. It's very dark humor kind of. There is a little bit of humor, but it's very much dark humor. Like
It's hilarious. This is the funniest thing I've seen today. This made me smile. Ready? You open your book. Bam! Author photo. Huge, right at the beginning, like a serious author photo.
uh-huh.
This is very funny to me.
So you know how Spotify now also has this like premium where you can listen to a certain number of hours for audiobooks?
Isn't it only like 15 hours a month or something, though?
Yeah, but if you never had a trial for Spotify Premium, you could ask for that and get at least one of the books that way.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
think the
willing to
thing
like,
is 22
you know,
hours.
because obviously they have both of those books, so like, you know, it's
Yes.
like you could have like a free trial for that.
Yeah, I used to have Spotify Premium and then canceled it. So I don't think they would be kind enough to me. Give me another
Periodically,
free
they
trial.
do try to ask again and tell you, "Oh, we're gonna have a free trial or like a $1 or something." Or I know they do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
For,
No, if I see something like that, I might take it up on itself, but I'm not going to stress too much about it.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think what's going to happen is I'm just going to keep going with the
Mhm.
Highlanders Return for now, and then when my loans come through, um, I will either read them on sprints or I will start them on sprints
Yeah,
when we get there.
and since we have sprints nearly every week, we do try to. You can just, whenever it's on hold, you get it, and then the next sprints you can
Perfect.
try it.
Yeah. Well, and now I know my future, which is great.
Yes. Ooh, nice,
Yay!
Scorpio.
Yay! Exciting. I love that we get to have a little celebration. That's awesome. Wonderful. And I'm glad that you loved it. That's the important part.
It really is. It really is.
Alrighty. Shall we sprint again? Clementine?
We can.
Or should we chat something for a little bit longer?
We should sprint because I don't have any good things to say anyway. Thank you. Except that I'm advancing on my blanket.
Good for you. How many rows do you have left until you catch up?
30.
Okay,
30.
good. So progress. Woo! And Clementine, I don't know if you have those cards from Michelle or whatever, maybe we could pull one of those in our next break if we're looking for something to talk about.
Oh, yes, I do. Over there.
Just an idea. Do we want to do a short sprint or a long sprint, Clementine? You get to pick this time because I don't want to make the decision.
I'm tired, so let's do 30 minutes because I think it's okay.
Perfect. Sounds great. All right, y'all. We will see you back here in 30 minutes. Good luck.
Hello, hello, welcome back.
Hello.
I read only 25 pages each because I did clean a little bit my dishes. So
That's great. That's good. I how much did I make it through? So I am almost at the end. Yeah, I'm at 96% right now. So it's going to take me like 12 more minutes of listening and then I will be done. We just had the resolution of our mystery plot and it was exactly what I thought it was because of course it was because that's a Lindsay Sands book. um, you could see the plot twist from a mile away, but also it's awesome. Yeah, so it was great. Harrowing as always. I finished Tinking Back on my knitting, and now I'm almost to the end of knitting the row that I had incorrectly knit before. So I am almost back to where I was like an hour ago. So yay, success.
Yay! Scorpio took a break from reading. They were looking at YouTube booktube videos.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. Do you have any favorite booktubers, Scorpio? Anyone come to mind? I have been like taking a little bit of a watching break from booktube. I think because I've been in a little bit of a reading slump and I know that the solution to my reading slump is not like isolating myself from reading content. I should really be like watching more reading content in order to feel inspired. But I've taken a little bit of a step back.
Especially, I would say, watching the people that read the same type, the same genres that
Yeah,
are kind of comfort reads for you, because that way that would give you like recommendations that would be like easy enough to read.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
book shopping videos. Ooh, I've been staying a little bit clear of those, I have to say, except for a couple people which I watch most of their videos because I usually when they do like a full book haul, I've already seen a lot of their books, as they get them during some other vlogs. I've been staying clear of the book hauls because it makes me want, or book shopping because it makes me want to go to the bookstore, I think, and I've been trying to be a lot more mindful in what I buy. Because, like, for example, this month the only books I got is like the book I get every month, from my exclusive edition, and then a couple pre-orders came in, and that's it. No, that's not true. I bought a sequel, which I will read in like 2 months because I'm doing a buddy read with a friend.
I do think it would be fun, not for us to do a book shopping video, but if we went to the library and picked out some
Mm.
books or something, and then like debriefed about it on here, I think that could be potentially kind of fun.
Yeah, that would be fun, especially if we went, because like we do have, I do have, for example, the Baltimore County Library, so I could go to like another one that I don't usually go to,
Mhm.
because I go always to the same one. So that one I would know most of the books, but like if we went to another one that we don't usually go to, that would be like fun.
We
I
could also do a like each of us picks out 3 books for the other person, and then we pick one of the 3 to read or something like that.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of fun to me. Book of buying ban until my birthday. I'm shopping vicariously. If that itches the shopping itch for you, then like good. I'm like Clementine. The first time I really got into like watching a ton of booktube content, I bought way too many books, some of which I am only now getting to read. Um, so
Yeah.
I
I
know it's
I remember also the early booktube days. The also we were in quarantine because it
yeah,
was early COVID days.
the
So
both of
being
these books
stuck
were
at home and also figuring out all the YouTube videos and all those things and figuring out, oh, there's so many books because I was out of I was really out, so I didn't know what was coming out really for books.
right.
So there were so many that I had never heard of. There were so many things I never read before. At that point, I hadn't read so much, adult fantasy like I do now. So there's a lot of things also that I would buy because I was not aware of my taste also in books. So I
Right.
still have some of those books there because I'm still like, I bought them, so I should still try to read them. So there's some in there that I'm like hesitant really to pick up because I'm pretty sure they're not my genre, my type of book. But
Mm.
if it works for you, Scorpio, that's great. I don't have that much self control. I know if I watch something like this, it would. I think it's also the people usually their excitement, right, about the books because they got them because they're so excited. It would even if I know, like, even if I see like a book shopping video for horror books, I'm still like excited and nearly telling myself, "Oh, should I look it up?" No, you don't read horror. You're a chicken. So like that stops me only, but like um if it's a genre I read, I would like want to read that. Michelle bought a book on Tuesday. What did you buy?
Yes, Michelle, you can't just say you bought a book. Come on,
Mhm.
my friend.
I did buy a book today because I
Michelle
had.
reads a lot of the books that she buys, which is great.
Yes, she does. I did buy a sequel today, but
Oh, I feel like that's allowed though. That's
yeah.
totally.
Also, I will read it in 2 months, right? Because it's our buddy read, of the Bone season. So I bought book three.
Mm.
And I had to go for Barnes and Noble because anyway, I was going to the library to get like a manga from a series that I read. So it's still another sequel, but I didn't buy that one too. So, you know.
Oh, that's something we could talk about. I only read a couple of pages, but I started like a classic manga the other day. And I'm
Ooh.
really excited about it. Um, ha, ha,
Oh.
that's funny. You'll have to give us a review. That sounds like nonfiction to me. Is it nonfiction, Michelle? Um, I'm so close to the end of the row. I'm gonna do this many more stitches, and then I'm gonna grab my manga that I started to show it to you. Um, yeah, how to be more D&D. That sounds like a nonfiction book about DMing, but
Yeah,
I could be
it
wrong.
does. And I mean, it would make sense with Michelle doing a yes, self-help for D&D geeks.
Yeah, we'll take that. That's great, Michelle. That's awesome. You'll have to give us a review because I
Yeah.
feel like that's a lighthearted one that I would perhaps end up picking up.
It's not about being a DM. Okay, it's about D&D. Okay.
Just D&D in general. Gotcha. Okay, I need to look at my pattern for these last two stitches. Oh, what am I supposed to do? Knit one and then slip one, and then here, knit one,
Yeah.
slip one.
Should I
Okay, I'm back. Success. What's in your box, Clementine?
the Michelle's questions, the questions
Oh, the Michelle
Michelle.
questions. Yes, that would be super fun. Before we get too far into it, the book it's right behind my desk. I just have to move a dish. That is
Oh
all.
yeah, you're fine. I just have also to check because I know these cards also have like 3 levels. So also I think some of them we can't do anyway. Go
So
ahead.
Princess Knight.
Ooh.
Um, I bought it at like a small independent bookstore here in Baltimore, maybe like a year ago. And it's like a compendium, so it's the whole thing, all in one. It says, filled with narrow escapes, treacherous courtiers, dashing pirates, meddlesome witches, magical transformations, and cinema worthy displays of daring do. How can you not buy something if it says daring do on it? Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
This early masterpiece by the godfather of manga is a fast paced tale of a heroic princess who can best any man at fencing yet is delicate and graceful enough to win the eye of Prince Charming. Its winning art style and canny infusion of gender politics into classic fantasy storytelling have continued to intrigue and delight readers of all ages. So this sounds very fun to me.
Mhm.
Already at the very beginning, there was some gender commentary and like the first couple of pages, and it was really cute. And I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna like it. So I'm
Aw.
really excited about this. Yeah, yeah. I'll update you guys as I
Mhm.
make my way through. But Clementine, did you find a card?
Yes, but let's go. Let's Michelle, I think,
Ooh,
wrote about what the book is about.
sure. Bring
Bring.
D&D into your life by being adventurous.
Mm.
That does sound like maybe pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone, which is sometimes good. I am your DM mentor. You, Michelle, you are doing great. You're awesome. And Michelle is DMing for the second time ever this weekend, which is
Mhm.
going to be fabulous. And I believe in you.
Yeah,
It's going to be great.
I know it's gonna be great, and I'm excited to play with Michelle as my DM. You know.
It's fun.
Okay, I think one of them is pretty. I mean, they're pretty fun. I took two, but they're pretty fun. So let me. What do you think my go-to karaoke song is?
Oh, I'm supposed to answer that about you?
Yes,
Oh,
I think that's the
no.
question.
Probably something in French. I don't know. I feel like we should name this about ourselves. I don't know what I think your go-to karaoke song would be
Okay,
because I
one
really
thing
don't know
about
your
me,
music
it's
taste.
not gonna be a song in French. It's
Okay.
not.
I feel like I really don't know your music taste at all.
Yeah,
Do you
I
have
don't
a
think.
go-to karaoke song?
Huh?
Do you have one? Like, do you have one that pops to mind? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just go ahead and share. What is it?
Michelle might know the band because we did do a couple road trips
Mm-hmm.
together, so she might know. It's Imagine Dragons, Radioactive, because Imagine Dragons is my favorite band. Otherwise, any of the classics in the U.S. Michelle,
Sure.
I
Let's hope not, Michelle. Oh
I I
no.
don't think I would even like sing it well because I think this is the song that we only sing to kids, so it's not like, and that's just to go to sleep. So I haven't heard it in like 25 years,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. No, I think for me it would be something Disney or something Broadway, one of those. And
Ooh.
if not one of those, something ABBA because I love ABBA. And
Well, okay. I think we found something that we can then put for both of us to sing at karaoke because ABBA, I'm fine with anything ABBA too.
uh, Michelle is just being funny. Oh goodness gracious! Well, that was fun. I like having the card be a part of the night. That was
Mhm.
exciting.
I was.
What you doing, my love? What you doing? Oh, Mr. Atlas is very sleepy. So he's just like flopping around.
I mean, with the cards, I think we were lucky also because some of them I know are asking to draw something or something else. So I was lucky to find the first one that was
That would be
good
challenging.
enough to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Michelle, what would be your go-to karaoke song, or anybody else in the
Other
chat?
than Purashaka, what would be your what would be your go-to karaoke song?
I don't even know if it would be available for karaoke, to be honest.
Probably not. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, if you were desperate, you could find it. Like if you went to those one of those like personal karaoke places, which are if I'm gonna do karaoke, that's where I like to go. You could probably find it on YouTube or something. But
I would say the not my go-to song karaoke, right? But like the go-to song karaoke, the French karaoke song that you can find everywhere in Japan. I don't know in the US, right? Because I never asked for that. But in Japan, you go to these like small private rooms, right? And then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have
There are
all.
places here too. There are a bunch out in like
Mhm.
Ellicott City area.
Yeah. And so the song that was always there was Edith Piaf, uh, which probably something new wave. I
Yeah,
don't
I don't
know.
know that I know the definition of new wave in music. I've definitely heard that before, but I don't think I'm actually familiar.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not really great with the all those names for music. I know the classical music genres, but when we go into the modern, I don't know anymore. There's so many. I know some of them, like rock, alternative, pop, but like just okay, okay, fair enough,
Very fun, Misha.
got it. Yeah, so in karaoke, in Japan, the French songs is like there's some Edith Piaf, which is just very depressing to sing because it's about a woman who lost her love, right? And the Japanese are getting way too much into it and singing it like out loud like this, and I'm like, I just want to cry because I know what the lyrics mean, right?
Yeah.
And they just have the really nice kind of melody in their heads. That's all they know, right? um so yeah. Oh, or the other one that is always there is a Daft Punk, right? Because
Hmm.
Daft Punk is French band. Not that you'd know, right?
I'm learning things. I'm learning lots. I
It's a
am not very music literate, but
No, I mean the Daft Punk is a French band, and they never showed their face in public, right? They have those big like masks always.
gotcha. Gotcha. Very cool. Alrighty, should we read some more? How are we feeling?
So if we read some more, I can't read more of this because I'm getting too far ahead with my buddy read, I think. But I could try and read the manga that I got from the library.
Oh, fun.
Might not be able to finish it because it's a bigger one, but like at least like make good progress on it.
A
I
little
think.
dent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I will, if we read some more, I'm going to finish the book that I've been working on. And then, oh, Michelle, you might like this actually. So, I've been reading, I just finished this morning a YA thriller. It's called Killing November. And it's about this girl who, um, like, we start the story with her and we don't know very much. She just wakes up one day in a boarding school that her father has sent her to. And it's like this secretive school. They don't have electricity. They don't have computers. They don't have phones. They're like, we're not telling you where you are. You're not allowed to contact anyone. You can't leave. They have exactly 100 students. It's like creepy cult vibes for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Um, and so she's like trying to figure out what's going on, but she's also told like you're not allowed to give anyone any information about who you are because it can be dangerous, and they're not going to give you information about who they are. And also, we teach all of our students how to like be like pretend other people. So we teach them accents, and they learn like fighting, and they learn like knife skills. There are no normal classes. It's all like political manipulation, right?
But
Like
okay.
assassin school, kind of, but not really.
Question though, like she has no recollection how she ended up there, right?
No, so she knew she was going to go to boarding school
Yeah.
because something. So her to go like deal with something with her aunt, and he was like, "Hey, you're going to go to boarding school. Like I'll see you in a little while." And she was like, "Okay, cool. I'll go to boarding school." She wasn't happy about it, but she had like packed her stuff and gotten ready to go, and then they like drugged her. And transported her there with that so that she wouldn't know the location. Um, yeah.
But there's boarding school and then there's this boarding school,
Yeah, no,
right?
it's crazy, right? No, it's wild.
So
It's obviously
like
not right.
how sure is she? Because it's not like she that they're not pulling her leg, right?
Yeah, no, I mean that's part of the mystery, right? That's part of the. I mean, part of the underlying tension is: am I actually supposed to be here, or
To
is
be
this all
honest,
a thing?
I would like observe a lot of the other kids and then start to like maybe tell them something and try one of them and something, because like by yourself, how like or
No,
just
I mean that's the point,
or try to
right,
leave.
Clementine? You get into the heart of what
I
this
know,
book is exploring.
I
Is
know, no,
correct. Yes.
okay, hear me out. I don't read thrillers because I'm way too much into the the thing. Either I find it really not realistic, or I'm like, but why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? Or like I'm too
Yeah.
invested.
So I do think the book does a really nice job of one of her like character flaws is that she's very impulsive and that she like she's not very good at like being deceptive. So this is a really challenging situation for her, right? Because she just like wants to get information. She just wants to ask questions. She just wants to know what's going on. But she also has to pretend that she knows what's going on so that she's not going to get targeted in this new environment. So it's really complicated. There is a second book, Michelle. That's kind of what I was getting to. So the only other audiobook I have out from the library right now, other than the one that I'm about to finish, is the second book in this series. And I just finished the first one this morning. So I think picking up the second book would be great. And there are only 2 books in the series. It's just a duology. At least it is right now. So I think I might read the second one. The second one is called Hunting November. Um, but yeah, Michelle, I will update you again when I finish the second one on as to whether I think it's worth a read. I also don't really know if the second one's gonna leave off on a cliffhanger or not. I don't know if this was intended to be a longer series and it got cut short, or if it was always just supposed to be 2. I think it's entirely possible that it was just supposed to be 2. It feels like a story that could wrap up in one more book.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's fluffy. It definitely has like it's kind of darker.
It's YA, or is it young adult?
It is young adult. I'd say it's like more definitely darker young adult. Like
yeah, it's older or not.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see like when it was. Oh, 2019. Yeah, I think in that period they started to be really to have more like duologies. So it's entirely possible that it was intended to be 2 books, right?
Yeah. And I did, when I was reading the description of the second book, it just says in the sequel to Killing November. So I'm hoping that means it's just the one. But yeah, it's been an interesting read. Some parts of it I thought were pretty predictable, but there were a couple of plot twists that I didn't guess, which is always enjoyable. So
I guess the thrillers that have a lot of plot twist, of course, some of them are going to be a lot more predictable than others, right? Just with the sheer amount of them, right? Because you can't have all of them. And I guess a lot of authors do that because also like if you rely on this one plot twist and somebody gets it, then it's kind of usually they're mad because there's only the one, right? And all the book hinges on that, right? But if you have like a lot of plot twist, it's also not even bad if you know it. It's just keeping you entertained and you're like, oh, I got that one, oh, I didn't get that one, and then you're I think with my limited experience with
no, I think that's a smart structural comment for sure. There were there was one plot twist in particular that I thought was a little bit cheap that I didn't like. I mean, I'm not even gonna say that it like wasn't foreshadowed or anything like that. Like I think it was a fair plot twist. I just didn't like the choice. I wish that the author had made a different choice. But I'm also, like excited to see how everything plays out in book 2, and I should have a more well-rounded opinion at the conclusion of that story.
Speaking of like thrillers, I don't read thrillers, but I recently read this new series, well, new to me, right? It's it's a Curious Beginning. It's a cozy mystery, I would say. Right?
Oh yeah, yep.
I read the first
Rayborn 2 or the first 3. Yeah.
It was fun. I do have to say I was not expecting a couple plot twists in there, but also they're really out there, so I would not, have been able to guess.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's not
The
okay.
first one was fun, I guess. I had a problem. I didn't like love the romance plot, and
Mm,
not. I didn't even think it was bad. I just, for books that are that nature and like
yeah.
that fluffy, I would rather have like a book about, like, a series of books about different couples rather than like
Mm.
one couple over and
Well,
over
I
again.
only
Or
read
like,
the one book so far. I can't say, right. I think I'm probably gonna think that it's way too long of a series and stop at some point. I do have to say for now, the first book was interesting. I think their relationship, also the way it's introduced and the way it's done, is
yeah,
kind of a breath of fresh air in some way, right? Because it's not like you have a outright romance right now with the book one, right? It's done differently, so I had fun, and I'm ready to at least, also, I mean, the audiobooks are on Everend, so I can just, get
yeah.
that.
No, it's definitely like an easy read, and lots of people love them. So I think
Mhm.
that you are in good hands
Yes.
with that series for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Preference on an amount of time.
30 minutes? Because, like, I don't think I'm ready to do 45 anymore, and it probably will be my last print, personally, but
Totally fair. Totally fair. All right then, 30 minutes. Let's do it. One final push. We can do it.
we can do it. Oh, Angela, we don't see the
Oh, thank you.
Pomodoro.
Ta-da. Hello, hello.
I read this. So a little bit over a third.
Nice.
I should have read more than than that. I should be at least halfway through. But there's a reason why I haven't bought the new volume and got it from a library. I'm liking it a lot less than before. This is
Oh
book
no.
7 in the manga, but I feel like it should have stopped, honestly. And I'm sorry about that. Because I really like the first volume. It's I Hear the Sunspot, so it's about a guy who becomes deaf at college. So he has this disease, that makes him become more and more deaf as time goes on. So he wasn't deaf until like high school, and then he started to lose his hearing.
Yeah.
And he meets a guy who basically shouts all the time, I think, when he talks. So he really articulates a lot, and it's really easy for him to hear him, essentially.
Oh, that's cute.
Um, and so he asks him if he can help taking his notes in class, I think, in the beginning. But now, like, at least, like, we do have a lot of changes, right, with the volumes, right? Now with volume 8, they have both finished college. Well, one of them stopped in the middle of college, but the other finished college, and he's, going to interviews for his first job. But I'm not as interested in that anymore, which is sad. It's sad, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's fair though. If anyone else was sprinting with us, let us know what progress you've made. Um,
Ooh,
I
Scorpio.
finished my oh, nice Scorpio. Archer's voice. That does not ring a bell for me. Does that ring a bell for you, Clementine?
Yeah, I forgot the name of the author. I know it is a romance. But I think it's one of those very emotional romances with torture. Um, I
Oh,
think it's Archer, the main character. Oh, Mia Sheridan. Yes, the Archer
ah,
is not. He's nonverbal, I think, or there's. I don't know if he has a disability or anything,
you
but
mean like
I think
mute?
he's nonverbal. I think I could
Okay.
be wrong, but I recognize. I think the cover is this kind of blue cover with uh.
Yes, you're right. I've read Mia Sheridan before. I think I read something random by her that was like kind of out of her comfort zone, I think.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, interesting. Interesting. Trying to read more books outside of your comfort zone. I think that's awesome,
Yeah.
Scorpio. I think that's great. You'll have to check back in with us
Mhm.
when you finish it and let us know if you thought it was worth it or not. I hadn't heard of that one before. Um, I finished The Highlander's Return. Woo, a success.
Ooh.
And I started Hunting November. So I'm 4% of the way into Hunting November. It is like
Okay.
on the longer side for a YA. So it's like almost a 13-hour long audiobook, which is, you know, it's longer than my average. I know you tend to read the longer fantasies, but
For thriller, yeah, especially for thriller too. It
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Uh,
but
I mean,
yeah,
because I think for thrillers, it's generally within like around the 300-page mark. Uh,
right,
is usually accepted, be it like adult or like younger, right? Uh,
right. Absolutely. But we sprinted. Success.
uh-huh.
Made it.
Also, I didn't read as much because I got emails from my colleagues.
Oh
Just
no.
put a meeting at 9 a.m.
Yeah. I just got done with this big thing at work which was this big field trip. And now tomorrow morning, I've got people arriving to work on like a renovation thing. And I just cannot,
Oh,
I just can't, I can't think about it right now. I
no.
just gotta like take it how it is. I had a nightmare last night about work, which kind of demonstrates a little bit of how just like overwhelmed I'm feeling. But um, this was a really nice reprieve from that. Just thinking about like books and knitting and friends instead of thinking about work. So
Yeah, yeah, for me too, because I
that was
had like a bunch. We have a bunch of grant writing and stuff to do. Um, so yeah,
yeah.
it was
And
really
bye,
nice. Thank you,
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Thanks for being here. It always makes me smile when I see your name pop up in the chat. So,
Mhm.
oh, goodness gracious. Sorry, Clementine. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to make sure we
I
said good
know,
before she logged off.
of course. I know.
But
I
yeah.
Yeah. We just have tomorrow also like a full on a day. We have some colleagues visiting from another university, and so
Mm,
there's a full day of talks and presentations and visits and stuff. Uh,
right.
so the problem also is that the talks are starting at 9:30, but we also have another meeting from 9 to 10 right now that's been added. So that means I do
Interesting.
have to be at work before 9 a.m. to be for the first meeting we have, which is virtual, but I do have to after that go in person to the other stuff. Um, because I do want. I mean, we should be able to do virtually if we can't come in, but I
Mhm.
want to be there in person for that whole visit for sure. But like, it's just
Yeah.
um.
I believe in you. You
Mhm.
can make it.
Oh,
Things
I know. It's just
you
that
go.
it's you know how now when we have those social kind of things, it's just draining me socially usually. And
Yeah.
I know I make it. I know everybody also believes I'm, this extrovert or, things like that, but I'm really
Oh.
not. I'm really not.
No, I mean, I think there's a difference between like, yeah, being personable and being an extrovert. And I mean, you know
Yeah.
yourself. So I wouldn't presume to chime in there. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. We hope that you have a wonderful and restful weekend right around the corner.
Mhm.
And yeah, we'll see everyone very soon. Bye.
Bye.